So this particular episode is a bit dated, and I have no one else to blame but myself. But nonetheless, I decided to put it out still for your enjoyment. And on this particular episode, I sat down with a good friend of mine by the name of Esa Kapenda, an auditor by profession, funny man all the time. We had a great conversation, man. This is just one of those episodes where I can just let loose, ask questions, and formulate opinions on things that others may find uncomfortable. But when it's all said and done, no one's trying to offend anybody. We're just having a dialogue. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Alright, let's go. 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Had a few laughs before we got this thing started, but I have a special guest in the building. How do I introduce you? Okay, never mind. So I'm just taking ass. But the man is a young professional auditor, by the way. I'm not going to say where he's employed by. That's confidential, unless you want to say anything about it. But that's none of my business. But today, I have my boy Esa Kapenda. What's up, bro?
My guy. It's all good, man.
Glad you to be here, man.
No, it's a whole pleasure, you know. I must say, like, I was starting to feel a bit FOMO, you know. I'm like, I'm seeing the homies now come on twice, and then I'm like, bro, I'm like, what about some of us, you know? I'm like, I'm like, no, damn your homies, but yeah, man,
I don't know.
It's good to be good in the country, man, and I'm definitely happy to be here with you, mate.
Yeah, welcome back, by the way.
Man, it's good to be.
How long you been back now?
I've been back just for over 2 months now.
Oh, it's not that long.
Nah, man, it's been I needed time to reclimatize to the weather, fam. You know, shit is cold outside, my man.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So like, you can't just come like from snow that side back to summer in December. That's like, nah, fam.
Just hot weather and rain. That's all you get here, and an occasional cold. But yeah. But where were you, man? Let them know, man. Where
I know, man. Like I was in Manchester, fam. You
Word?
know.
He's even wearing the shirt, guys. He's wearing the fucking shirt.
You know, it's a sad time right now, but then it just shows me.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm a Donga boy, you know, like, I'm from that village that they fear Okaku, you know.
Yeah.
So now this is now evident, you know. I just leave my team, you know. Basically, before I go for, you know, the last game I went to, you know, it was the first game of the season versus Leeds United.
Yes.
I was front row, my man. We won 5-1. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna leave like my piece of my juju here. I'm like, I told the grassman, don't clean this area or things will go wrong.
And they cleaned them.
And they cleaned the shit, and then I'm like, I'm back, and now, menu is just worse than Arsenal now, my man.
Yo, dude, this thing of managers, the way managers change the entire perspective of a team is fucking crazy. Since Ferguson left, you guys have not been the same.
Fam, while you're at it's reached the point of where I'm fully convinced I was a Ferguson fan and never a Man United fan. Man,
it's ridiculous,
it
man.
It doesn't make sense, fam.
I mean, to be fair, you had top tier coaches, man, but no. It just, you know, it reminds me of the Liverpool once we got knocked out like that. Once we like had that stint out of Champions League, like,
and you guys were out for a while.
the nigga. Oh, and I remember someone posted this this formation that we used to have back in the day, and I was like, oh my god, I can't believe I used to support these guys. These guys were like, it was so bad. They're okay, but it just didn't make sense.
Friend, but you have to understand, you know, the game evolves. I mean, like, back in the day, that formation could work because you had one of the best all-time midfield generals, Stevie G.
Yes.
You could get away with making silly formations like that, you know. I'm sure, you know, sometimes, you know, the major walks in there is like, it's a Gerard. I really don't know what to do, bro. Just go base your brains to go ball now. And help me, fam. Help me.
Even the players there, I was just like, yo, these guys actually existed. I'm like, okay. But here we are.
I know, my man. If we are tables have turned, you know, I remember we used to make fun of you guys 30-something years, no league, what. Now
yes.
Like, we are on our way there. Slowly but surely on our way there.
These things, you don't even realize when time passes like that. Next thing you know, you're in your 40s with kids. You're like, damn, no League Cup, eh?
No, but just think of it, fam. That's the disease right there. Like most of you, I don't know how you ended up supporting Liverpool. Because me and you, like Liverpool usually came like from this color topics, you know. Because back in the day, you know, Liverpool was doing things, you know, serious.
Yes.
And then this guy, you know, by the time the first picture he sees is he's wearing a Liverpool shirt, anything documented in you, and you're just like, it's a family thing.
Wasn't that? Wasn't that the same thing with City? City, when the Arab money came in, all of a sudden, everyone has a Man City shirt. I'm like, oh. I'm like, you know, City sucked back in the day, right? Like, terrible.
City didn't suck. I'm like, who was City? I'm just like, what?
Who was City?
Because I'm just like, out of the blue, there's this team, you know, they buy like Sean Rice Phillips, and then they bring Aguero, they bring Kevin, they bring Silva. I'm just like, what?
Where did this come from?
But then you must see, like, that's why then people have to bring up all these funny things about FIFA, what, fair play. I'm like, too late. Go deduct that City and Chelsea money. Because Chelsea also refused. Chelsea is also that Russian mob money, fam.
You think so?
I fam.
Because, yo, that guy's been rich forever, yo.
I'm like, Abramovich just came, brought in Jose,
and
I made a few signings, and then 2-3 years, these guys were dangerous.
All of a sudden, your money makes the world go round. Like
Man,
look at the Newcastle thing. I don't think people are. I don't think they want to hear that shit.
Enough, but the thing is, Newcastle first needs to like build domestically.
They have to
because
they have to. That's the tough part.
Yeah, because that the rules must just usually applies, you know, for FIFA competitions. I'm like, you guys are excluded for the next few years. I'm like, they can start, you know, bringing all these Coutinho boys on loan or something.
Still,
with some funny conditions, like okay, but if we survive, you know, will you guys consider signing? That's how you bring all these players that are being benched by the big clubs. Pay them.
Might as well. But then again, that won't even help because, like football, it's a chemistry sport as well, man. If I don't click with you on the field, like that shit's not gonna work out.
I know, my man. And now that's where you see it again. You know, and like at school level, we can say that because I that's like me. Like in my job, I can say, damn, man. Like I don't like my boss, I don't like my manager, I don't like my lead, but we get paid to get a job done. So we gotta make it done.
So it's about the money then.
Yeah. So don't get me wrong. Chemistry does help. I'm like, if we blend, you know, like Turkey and Andy Cole, you know, I'm like that kind of thing, you know.
That's true.
Like if we can blend, it works. But in the end, I'm like, hey guys, we are both professionals. Let's make it work.
Before we get off this, who do you think is gonna win the title this season?
Chelsea.
Yeah.
Hands down, Chelsea.
Okay, my top two, obviously Liverpool and Chelsea, because
I know Liverpool.
Guys,
don't get me wrong. Liverpool is like they can decide to show up and play me, but the consistency of Liverpool is the one thing that always worries me. And like if like we could just take like a current form now and say, okay, extrapolate this in the future, like I'm like then definitely Chelsea and Liverpool. But currently I'll lean more towards City than Liverpool at this stage.
Okay, I see what
but
you mean.
But you must understand that I don't like Liverpool, so it's a bit subjective.
No, it's subjective, but it's true. Because imagine that last game we played was Aston Villa was West Ham. We were expected to win that game, and what happened? So it's like
Liverpool did what Liverpool does.
Fuck you for that, by the way.
You guys joke. I'm just like, imagine like the whole world thought that when you guys thrashed us at Old Trafford, by the way, disrespectfully. I'm just like, okay, by the way, now I would rather lose like 5 consecutive games 3-0 than lose 1-5-0 game to you guys. So that really hurt my feelings.
I can imagine. I didn't see my brother for a whole week. And he's a Man U fan. And imagine we stay in the same house, by the way. And I did not see him for an entire week. So the day I saw him, he was walking out the gate. I'm like, yo, 5-0. I just hear, fuck you.
I like, that's how families break up, right?
I think so too.
Later, the guy becomes that uncle that he only sees his nieces like once a year, like at Christmas. You don't even know where he lives. Don't even know what he does for a living anymore, but you just know, okay, somewhere there.
Oh, because of football.
Man.
What a game, man.
Football is... No, that wasn't a game. No.
What a game.
No.
I'm talking about football in itself.
Oh, no, man.
Oh, no, the thrashing was one thing, man. For us, that was a game. For you guys, it was just a thrashing.
I know.
But to be honest, I actually expected the fight. And that wasn't the case now, was it?
I as much as, for the... Man, I like... The one thing I did not like about this season was this whole CR7 story. Because basically, firstly, I legit went into fights with people physically with the arguments of like saying is CR better than Messi. I was so loyal to CR that I was completely blind to how magnificent Messi was. And then there were rumors that this guy was willing to go to our rivals. Man, fam, that shit destroyed me, man. I was like, this is why I have no loyalty to this guy anymore. I don't celebrate a CR7 goal. I don't care about him. I'm like, in fact, I want to go on loan to Newcastle until he retires from our club. Huh?
But come on, he's the one that's been saving you guys, though, to be fair.
Fam,
You know?
to me, a loyalty means more than what you're doing for the club. The fact that you could even consider going to our rivals.
Okay,
City.
but rumor was that was just a rumor set in place to trigger you guys. But he wasn't gonna do it apparently.
Fam, I like you have your girlfriend, right?
Uh-huh.
And then when you argue, she threatens to come and sleep with me. Are you gonna tolerate that shit? Whether she means it or not, it came out of your mouth. I don't care. I don't care.
Damn, when you put it like that,
You can't do that. That's something you just can't do.
That's heartbreaking.
Nah, fam. And do you know what I did at the moment these rumors came out? Fam, like I went on YouTube and then I just typed in Messi and then I just started to adore that guy. And then in my mind I was like, yo, so I was really fighting guys for something that I was wrong, guys.
I was like,
guys.
The thing with Messi, I think it's how he makes football look effortless, man. I think that's why people hate him so much because it doesn't even seem like he's trying, as opposed to Ronaldo. Like he's a hard worker, what? But Messi is just—it's mesmerizing at the end of the day. I admire. I mean, we're privileged to watch these guys over the last few decades.
And it's just as simple as like, listen here. Okay, like I don't like the guy, but yeah, CR7 is just a hard worker. That's that guy that I when I'm like, hey Christy, let's go drink. Like, nah, bruh, the test is on Monday.
Yeah, I can't do that.
I can't, man. I'm sorry. Messi is just that kid that was gifted. You were with him Sunday in the morning drinking, but then he still comes and kills it.
Kills the test.
I mean, you're just like, how? You see,
so I'm saying it makes it look so effortless.
So I'm saying one is just God given and the other one is just hard worked for.
I mean, both are God given, man. Come on. Let's be real.
But I don't like CR7 anymore. But fine, yeah, hard work can only take you so far. It's true. There still needs to be something there.
Hard work beats talent. Because how many people you found
when talent doesn't work hard? Finish your sentence, man.
Like you came with a fucked up counter.
Finish your sentence.
Damn, nah, I lost my train of thought. I'm done. I'll let you have that one.
Thank you, man.
I'll let you have that one. It's bullshit, but I'll let you have it. No, but Esa, one of the few reasons I brought you here, you're a young professional. I emphasize that a lot, actually not that much, but it's the fact is you're a young professional, you're black, you're doing what you gotta do.
Always.
And I love that, man. I love seeing that. I love seeing people win. It gives me hope, actually. But for those that don't necessarily know you, what is it that exactly you do? Because I did mention your auditor, but maybe I'm gonna dive a little more deep into that.
Yeah, so basically I'm an external auditor. So what that
What does that mean?
So what that basically entails, to break it down, so in short, first, it's basically us verifying a company's financial and non-financial information. So that's where like companies they are broken down into, how can I say, like almost, let's put them in like division or sectors.
Yeah.
I'll go forward. So for like a smaller company, they might need to get audited for the purposes like of like if they wanna go get a loan from a bank or something.
Yeah.
So then the bank will ask, okay, show us your financials. Let's see they're audited so we can see that if you're in a position to pay us back. You see there, and then as the bigger the company goes, like the listed companies or like companies, like where you own the company but somebody else is running it for you.
Yeah.
So then in that case, that's most, we audit those financials for the sake of public interest. We need to make sure that whatever figures you guys are reporting, profits you're making, it's true, because then somebody might be willing to take their hard-earned money, pension or whatever, to invest in your company, expecting a certain return. But if what you're reporting is not accurate, I'm choosing my words right here, so it's not accurate, and then basically you can stand to lose out. So that involves, like daily, like you'll first go into to the company, first clearly like gotta bid, it's still business, it's the job. And like we need to go there for the tender, say why we are better than other companies, So I'm company, I work for company A, so I gotta be on that tender, saying why we are better than company B, and that's where that's now from a firm basis, Thankfully, like I say, I'm saying I'm company A because I am company A, like we stay up to standard, like with the tools we use, the technologies and stuff, So if you find yourself like in a
your company will be so proud because they're like, yo, this guy is he's milking it, like heavy.
Again.
Like we're not the shit, but he's making it sound like we're the shit.
I know, man. That's just like one of those things. I love where I work. Job is job. You won't love it every day, but I love it for the fact like of the people of who I do it with.
Yeah.
I think that is what makes a thing. And while we are on that, one thing I've learned so far, I'm like, in life, I'm like, I'm at the stage of where I feel that I choose a boss to work for or who to work for, and not necessarily the company, because don't just choose a name, and actually know who you're working with, because that's how you grow and learn.
True.
So that's one thing I've actually learned, and I'm just like a little tip for anybody out there that's thinking like, okay, now do I go join for the, because you could go work for this big nice corporate and then you just get chewed up and spit out of there without learning anything,
True.
So but the moment you work for somebody that actually cares and looks out for you, that's where actually you see growth, and happiness comes, and that's one thing that can help you stay up at night.
For a while, I was kind of like, man, I don't want an 8 to 5, or I was like kind of telling people I fuck 8 to 5s, but then what you just said now, it makes sense, because if you love where you work, regardless of what it is, 8 to 5, or if you're an entrepreneur, if you're selling sweets, look, if you like what you're doing or where you are, that's the difference maker there already. That's what really makes you even work harder at the end of the day. Because imagine you hated where you worked. Do you think you'd be enthusiastic about what you're saying now?
Yeah, fam. Based on the hours we pull.
Yeah.
And that's why you can even see that I'm like, one industry like with the highest staff turnover is basically auditing firms. People
Really?
go in without knowing what to expect. It's sort of like always take some research. Okay, but to be fair, even if you ask me like how it is there, like I won't let you go in there like blindsided, but I also won't tell you all the bit, because I need you to do my work for me.
I'm not gonna make this easy for you.
I'm just like,
Gotta
fam.
be kidding me, man.
But the thing is that you just gotta know, like, just get your facts right and put your heart into it.
Might as well.
Might as well. And before my thought of trade is derailed.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong, my man.
This
8 to 5 thing, it's not for everybody. Even in the current state of where I am now, I'm just like, I can tell you that I like if I'm still doing an 8 to 5 like in the next 5 years, ne?
Yeah.
In the next 5 years, then my bank account better be speaking likewise. Because if not, I'm like, I mean, who the life goal is, my man.
Financial
Like,
freedom.
Be financially secure, but also I cannot be getting woken up by an alarm all the way until I'm 40.
Oh man, that,
You see, so to me,
Yes,
like within the next 4 to 5 years, I'm like, listen here, I'm either gonna be branching out, doing a little something on my own, or like where I am now, there'll be a clear path, to say that okay, my guy, and now we're taking you to the top offices.
That's right.
Which is fine because that's the brand I love. That's what I'm working for. I wouldn't mind, but in that space, that's where the crossroads is gonna come.
But that's a fucked up thing. That's a fucked up thing. What at least what's happening now, if you noticed, petrol went up, food prices, everything is going up except people's salaries. Everything. And imagine the finance minister, Shimi.
Yeah.
These guys' comments make me laugh. At least I don't know. I like reading between the lines because he's like, it's not a necessity right now. But I'm like, of course you would say that because you're not suffering.
He's not in that position.
Yeah. Imagine if you're making 100,000 a month, and I'm not saying that's how much he makes, but just assume you're making 100,000 a month. It's easy for you to write off someone that says, "Oh, dude, I'm suffering. I only have like I'm only making this kind of much." You're like, "No, man, you survive. It's fine. You're good." How many times have you heard that shit?
And that's what brings us earlier to like our conversation earlier, before the mics went on and stuff. Like this COVID situation, like of where like I wouldn't say easy, but people are so easy to like make comments like why can't people just stay home? It's lockdown and stuff. But I'm like, because we are hungry.
Yes, it's simple. It's nothing.
It's that. Why would I? People are not just vindictive or malicious by nature, and that's the one thing I see that we struggle with. I'm like, fam, just take a step back. You can find me acting a fool. Why can't you take a step back and think, why in the hell is this guy acting the way he is?
Dude, people were being arrested for selling stuff when they were told to be home. And for the first time in my life, I got to see what a totalitarian looks like. Like a whole dictatorship vibe happening, whole dictatorship system happening, because you're literally beating me for selling whatever that I'm selling to feed my kids.
You aren't stealing?
It was mind blowing, man. It was mind blowing for you. I was like, no, man, this cannot be happening.
That's heartbreaking, man. I'm just like, and that's what I'm saying. It's one of those things where you can see like generational changes coming through. I'm like, the way we grew up, I'm like, fam, that auntie that sells like that was your best mate Zali. And that's where you were playing behind the backyard, and then she'll call you. I know kids can't eat, and then before you go back home, just make sure that you have your filter to go there.
Do you see?
That you end there like with dry lips the whole day. I mean, like, just that humility part is just gone, man. I'm just like, these are the guys that we vote into power year in, year out. We have no one else to blame but ourselves. I blame myself till this very day. I blame myself. Like, man, for the first time I was eligible to vote. That shit was super exciting. I was like, okay, it's my first time. I'm 18 years old. I got the card. The first 2 times kind of like showed me like, yeah, no. This is total bullshit. This is just a system working in its favor, nobody else's. Because how many times during that election run where NBC starts airing all of a sudden these freedom fight movies, radio start talking about how Swapo did this and that, and I'm like, man, only during time of elections, huh? Only those times. Propaganda, of course. I can tell you something. Hey, there's one. That's the one part I will always give these guys in power credit for.
What's it?
These guys have milked that walnut for the longest. I'm like this thing should have only been milked like once or twice. Fam, I'm like, what? How do they get it right? I'm like, if this is not brainwashing, I'm just like, because I can't even blame it on education or like, I'm just like, fam, everybody is voting for that for some reason. So it's like they have you where they have you. You know, they had me like in the beginning of where it was a point of when, fam, although I'm in that booth alone, like if I don't put my ex here, my top people won't forgive me. You see the because you know most our top people are most those strong, and then the time I'm like no, and then that's why I'm like speak to other people, you know, get it from, and then that's where it came on, and then at home I was like started speaking up, like just throwing in funny random situations, like okay, oh what about RB, what about this, you know, just to start sensitizing the topic to the police that maybe this guy could vote for an AR or something one day. And now we are there making jokes. What was unheard of like 10 years ago. I mean, anybody making a joke about any sort of political party other than his, it's unheard of. You're homeless.
It's true.
Now we can all on the family group. He's even instigating, you know, when the people are making fun of him. Like, you see there, you gotta this the situation and just like find a way that works for you and do it.
You know what I was told back in the day? So obviously you get the voters card, right? Yeah. So apparently it's like, yo, you have to vote for swap. So I'm like, oh, why? It's like, you know when you apply for a job, they see if you actually voted. I'm like, how the fuck would they know that?
Wow, man.
How would they know that?
You see that?
And if they do, isn't that like invasion of privacy? Isn't like my vote, my like, you know, my choice, my own thing?
We're finessed, man. They finessed us a lot.
Oh yeah, we're finessed. That's the word I was looking for.
You must have yourself.
We were
Voters
finessed.
everywhere you go. Why you never know? I'm like, fam, this isn't the guy of jail free card. Like if Para gives me that, they're still gonna whoop my ass.
Yeah,
I'm like,
still,
what you mean though?
They're still gonna kick my ass whether I'm drunk or not. So the political world is it's crazy, man. It's crazy, and now the what's this guy the Tula situation with his coalition thing, man. I always knew that guy. Look, I like the fact how he came on to disturb the peace.
The guy shook the
He shook the system a bit.
He shook it a bit. These guys were too comfortable, man.
Yeah, and I mean they still are. But
okay. I mean,
kinda. It's a bit of unrest, but yeah, they're a bit, you know.
No, they're still there, but because to me, I think they're just trying to get their federal media because I'm like the youth is now pissed, fam.
Yeah,
we ain't having it no more.
That's my theory, by the way. They're siphoning everything they can right now.
Exactly.
So we're gonna be left in debt.
Yo, fam. You know what? I keep saying we can only hope that there's something that we can do with what's left, and people don't come collecting and like if China decides it's time, hey.
I mean,
guys,
if they decide give it international airport, we can't say anything. We have to. I don't know if this article is true. I remember posting it a while back. I think it was like a year ago.
Don't tell me it's about the one about Zambia.
Yeah, that one.
At the army base or something there.
Yeah, that's not real. I tried to research it.
Yeah, no,
I found some stuff.
Because I was also shook because I was I'm like, hey, but people, the people are like saying no, it seems to be true, but I'm just like, hey, that's deep, fam. Because I envision that here, I'm just like, yo, guys, just give me an AK, man. Like I cannot
as well.
I cannot be government like this. No, my man. No.
Yo, so basically that's my little conspiracy theory that we're gonna be left in a lot of debt and the youth we're gonna have to pick up where these guys left off.
No.
And it's not like we have a choice because at the end of the day we don't want our freedom to be taken away or anything like this. So we're gonna be. It's like being stuck paycheck to paycheck. Yeah. That cycle is fucking vicious, man.
And you can never pay off the car, the house, so
till you die.
You need that paycheck,
Till you die, my man.
So it's a sort of an infinity lease. Yes, you can have it, but you need this paycheck to keep driving this car and living in this house. So it's like it's just a vicious, endless cycle. Once that gets started, we are like in serious trouble, man.
And.
In serious trouble.
But the one thing politicians have been 100% absolutely correct about is when they say that we have the power. us, the citizens. That's the one thing I can honestly say they've been accurate, pinpoint, because it's our dumb asses putting these people in these positions. It's us. It's not them. It's us. And the funny thing is, we're still not learning. 30 years later.
I like, even if we just take a basic example, like, when you have your job, right? There's like, you reach a certain age where they tell you that, no, and now you have to retire because you're old, you can't think the same way, so you aren't going to be as productive as it is, huh?
Yes.
But then again, when we take a look at the most important job in the country, running it, exactly. We have a whole bunch of retirees.
Oh, thank God you even said that. Look at this thing. It's pinpoint what you're trying to say.
Exactly.
And they still talk about youth empowerment. I'm like, what youth empowerment are you talking about? It's the same guys with the same mentality, with the same attitude towards life. What are you gonna get from this man?
My guy.
And the fucked up thing is also not willing to listen. That's the bad part.
That's the mentality that they're like, hey, like I fought, man. It's my guy. I'm like, no, bruh, we understand, but you guys got your share now. We're respectful enough, guys.
We appreciate what you did.
We really do.
We really do,
guys, man.
But you gotta get the fuck off, man, please.
Do you really want us to make it? I don't know, man.
It's a never-ending conversation, man. It's a never-ending conversation. You just never know what's gonna happen anymore. At this particular point in time, guys, work, try and build your capital, and build your influence also around your community. Your close people, because wealth is gonna start around your circle. If you want to start this journey of wealth,
fam, I like everywhere in the world you go. You always see, like, it's especially like people like the Indians, the Chinese, those guys, they are stock fella. That's the actual stock fella.
Did you ever
No. Listen.
Okay, cool.
Because I know where you're going.
Yeah,
I know where you're
I have
going.
a lot of questions.
I know where you're going. The stuff, and like it's where like a committee comes together, they put money together and then they build to further that community. Huh?
Yes.
Now, us in Africa, firstly, the initial stock we had was we come together, we put, so it's like a cover for Chwala. You see this? So even when we have something that's a good idea as like a stockpile, we use it for something that's not gonna build.
Unrelated.
Where your mind was going was this Ponzi or pyramid schemes. Like, that is, there's no way you can tell me that that's just a pyramid scheme.
Yeah.
Let's call a donkey a donkey.
Yes. Spade of a spade, my friend.
But
those were pyramid schemes on the other level.
My man. But then you go anywhere to go. Like you can go to South Africa, you can go to the UK, you can go to you'll find like you'll find this little street there of where there's like a pharmacy, there's a supermarket, and it's just owned by Indians, because they'll start, okay, this time we cover, like we get you your pharmacy, it's here, get you your butcher shop is here, we get you what is here, and those guys, they all buy within that community, they buy from each other. It grows.
The money's just in that. The money's just there.
Basically, the money, external money is coming, but us, what do? Guys, we just want to thrive.
Yeah, man. I mean, look at Chinatown. That money just stays there, hey?
Fam.
Now that I think about it, wow.
Okay, no, simple. Huh? When was the last time you walked into Checkers or Spa and you saw a Chinese person?
Ooh.
Where the hell do they buy their groceries? Street house.
That's
anyway, just think, anything that they can do, they will do. They will go buy from their people.
Before
unless it's really a necessity, like really a necessity.
They will. Yeah,
that's when they'll. That's when they'll do. You will not.
That's wow.
Just think.
Come to think of it, like I can't even think of. Maybe once, but that's like only once upon a time in my life.
Guy.
So they really know how to keep the money in the circle, hey?
Guy. They know how to keep the money. And they even take it to an extreme level.
Which is?
Huh?
What's that?
That they don't even bank the money, they put it under the mattress. Namra must go for these guys, man.
These guys, man. The first time I read that story, I was like, I don't know who I was talking to. I think it was my brother or my dad. I'm like, oh, did you see this shit? And they were like, yeah, it's normal. I'm like, who the fuck keeps 2 million in the cupboard just like that?
And they don't understand that. Well, FM, you're also putting yourself in danger and stuff like that.
I mean, I would do the same, but then knowing how people are,
nah, I don't know.
That's too risky, man.
I know, but before this, I was like, yeah, ain't nothing against them, you know. Like, I got my Bruce Lee niggas. I love them.
Got my Bruce Lee.
That's
hella that's racist as fuck, bro. It's all love.
It's only racist if it's coming from with bad intentions,
yeah,
or from a bad place
of hate. Yeah,
based on hate. Nah. And that's another thing why I love where I work. You know, this is except for where I'm from. I'm just there in the office, guaraing everybody, and they just accept that
it's all love.
That's just Esa, man, guys.
Yeah, it's okay.
You can't take it to heart.
Leave that douchebag alone.
Yeah, no. Yeah, but anyways, the point of the matter I was trying to make was just like you see how like different communities work differently to try and build themselves.
Yeah, we should.
And we just missing the memo by far.
Yeah, man.
Just way off them. We are way off.
That's true. Oh, we're off the target. Completely off. Because remember back in the day when tenders were a thing. For me, I only started to realize tenders were a thing like in 2018, 07. When I started to see
almost full.
Yeah.
When guys were almost full. Huh? Guy.
This is where I started to see black people thriving. Like, I'm like, wow.
Guy, I mean, it must be weird because I was like, man, and there was this guy. I'm like, fam, man. Like, I know you dropped out of like a grade 9 shandies, what, and then one day this kaka thrive. This guy just pulls up in a whole range. Like how? 2010 spot. I'm like, fam, we're still in 2010. How are you pulling it? I'm there wondering. This guy is there talking and and then my brother is just saying like, I'm like, whoa, what are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Because the time I'm like, what? I was like, Matriki, I think that year, yeah. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? And I'm like, oh, my man.
Yeah.
You will see.
You
will see.
It's it's not all legit.
Oh man. And that's the problem. Only when something like goes viral or something, that's when everything I'm like, fam. By the time something is out there, it means people are full.
Nah?
It means people are full.
That's true. Hey? That's a good one.
It means that people have exploded and they've abused it, and like, the word has gotten around.
Yeah.
Those first 3 to 5% of the people that are involved in there, those are the guys that eat properly.
Permanent. Yeah, they're forever there. They're gonna be forever there.
Those are the guys that have laid the foundation. These are the guys that got their hands in the pie when it's still hot. They were even burning.
We missed out, yo. We missed out. Yeah. But it's not like they made this thing like public information anyway.
I know.
I mean, all these things now they're public information because now they're formalities, right?
Mm-hmm.
But back in the day, I kind of recall. Okay, to be fair, I was young. I wasn't necessarily interested, but looking back at certain articles from back in the day, I'm also like, I don't see anything here really.
No, but it's also regulations are changing. I'm sure like our tenants even like required to be like advertising as much, because now I know it's a requirement because now we need to show our transparency.
Yeah.
Because back in the day, I'm sure like the guy in charge would just say, this Kapenda is just for like $1 million or $2 million or like 800K. Like I'll just give it to my boy, but my boy, just give me like a 100K. You see that? So they could try and like say, okay, no, this one is small, we can quickly eat it. This one is bad, you know, and that's the one thing I like where Joe is pushing. I'm like, listen here, let's be able to make it. Let's be able to trace back the winning tender, like from the application process.
Yeah.
To what was assessed, to what was the initial price. Let's just have transparency. Let's not do public things in secret.
Yes.
I'm like, it's this sad thing of where I see like, you know, okay, maybe now it's gonna be like a conspiracy or whatever, but affirm people advertise jobs, but in their heart they already know that they hired Patrick.
Yeah.
And to me, to me that's because I'm like, okay, fine, you're doing it, but the part that hurts me the most, there's this kid there in the cassie that wakes up at 5, you know, catches the bus to go print and get stuff certified, you know, as hope. But you know, he never stood a chance.
That's true, man.
I'm like,
that's
man,
a
guys,
sad part.
Man, are some things that we should be able to like.
And imagine that they're paying for these documents, right? So that's like a $500 that's non-refundable. So now imagine, let's say 100 people applied, each paid $500, man. That's money down the drain. And imagine what you said. They already know who they're gonna give it to. So why are you doing this to people again? This is just like another L, 2 L's in one go, man.
But that's just basic cruelty, man. We don't think things through, man.
That one's sad, man. That one touches.
Hey.
It's hard, yo.
Sometimes I'm just thinking, fam, I'm like, are you really gonna kick somebody that's down already?
And then they act surprised when they start stealing and start mobbing, start looting, I say, you know?
Exactly.
Those are boiling pots, man. Those people are unhappy. People are broke. Generational poverty, bro. What do you think is gonna happen?
Everything in life is a process. We won't walk out of here happy and laughing, and then tomorrow like we are like on full force strike. Let's dethrone the empire.
No, man.
It's not how it works.
Exactly.
We first like guys, and then they're like man. Okay. Oh, it's hunger, man. You see that?
Exactly. People get tired. They get fed up, and that's why I'm like it. What was I saying the other day? It's easy to dismiss something you haven't experienced.
Very true.
If you've never been hungry like for a couple of days straight, and you tell someone, no, don't worry, you'll be fine, just think positive. Like that person's gonna look at you like, dude, are you serious? Positivity is not gonna feed me right now.
Yeah.
You know. So,
and that's where people now get it. Listen here. There are people with genuine concerns and really feel, and then there are chance takers, and that's the unfortunate part of life.
Yeah.
See, now we're like, we had the right intentions. Yeah, you guys, you're like, okay, guys, we're gonna go protest. We're gonna get something in there.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, this is a protest. I'm the odd one out. I'm the troublemaker. So when you guys are having your people, I'm there with smoke bombs. I start throwing, and then I taint the whole thing. But that wasn't the intention of the whole thing.
Exactly.
It's just that 1 or 2 rotten apples.
That fucked up the whole message now.
That's the whole message. And then instead of you guys getting the message we're trying to get across, you're just seeing hooligans.
Yes. That's what they're gonna equate it to. Now these are just no, we can't do this anymore. So it's like, man, now you just messed up the entire movement. But before we get into that, actually, because that happens a lot. To take you back to your background,
Yeah.
did you always know you're gonna be an auditor?
Oh my word! Yo, fam, you know me from school.
I'm gonna give people context because I was shocked. I was like, wait, what? Like, you guys auditor? Because I'm like, here's a dumb thing about me. I was like, he's a auditor or just auditor? I didn't know what that meant to me. I just like, what? Mean? So in my head, I'm thinking auditor is like serious, and then auditor is like he's fucking around probably, right? Like.
Oh my god, yo. So basically, I mean, I was always active, whether athletics, sports, rugby, football. I was like, if it was up to me, like I told you, and things went better, I must be like there, like playing for Shakati City or something, because things didn't go well, or if they went well, at least somewhere, like France, in France, playing for Ligue 1,
League.
PSG, passing Messi,
Just a bit.
Yeah, no, I know, but as to say that I wanted to be an auditor, I'm like, that's not even far-fetched. That's just absolutely not.
It was just not in the picture.
Because the thing is that, it came to like my matric year, and then I'm there, I'm like, but I just want to do sports, but then, I'm blessed, like I have 4 elder brothers, you guys put me said, I'm like, we've all been there where you are. And we've all got the same message. In this house, my man, you need to get a degree or something. You just end up upsetting the Zali stuff. And then I was like, you know what? Clearly I wasn't happy, because I was a rebellious little fucker, so
Yeah.
I've always been an asshole, but it came to a point I'm like, it's true, man. Like, I've given this woman enough gray hair enough, so
Yeah.
I legit, I took my report card that time. I was like, now why do I go study? And I was like, okay, business. I'm like, what do I entrepreneur? I'm like, okay, nah, that doesn't really work, Math, I'm like, what? Do I become a mathematician or what's that even? I'm like, no. Not like accounting. I'm like, this is actually one of those subjects that I never actually have to study for, and I just pass, and it seems easy. So to me, I thought I was taking an easy way out to just get a quick degree, a quick degree. I get the result of my case, and then I go do what I want. Nah, my man. That was the first step into a career which I didn't even know about. And then, like, first year, Junam, this was the career day and stuff like that.
Yeah, career fair and all these things.
Man, and then I was like, you know what, man? We just came from the leisure center. I'm like, we saw banners there, career fair. I'm like, what was this? Okay, let's quickly go check what's happening. Maybe they're giving away free goodies.
Black people and free shit, man. What's wrong with us?
We can't help ourselves. That's the reason I went to the career fair.
Just for free shit, basically.
For some free shit. I'm like, they always give away free shit. There was this chick like, no, there usually companies there, just pretend like you're interested. Then they'll give you some free stuff. Hey, we went there. What there were field stalls. And then, to my unluckiness, there was company A stall there. Then my cousin, I was there. I got like, hey, oh, yeah, he's like, come here, we talk. And I get like, oh, what do you think? Accounting. Oh, so you're going to become a C? I'm like, what?
Hey.
I'm like, what's that?
What's that?
I know. And then behind him, the guy, this church, back then it was like the 8-year process of how to, from your first year of university to when they sign you off SC. I'm like, 8 years, I'm like, fam, but I could become a doctor in 7
or less. What the fuck is this?
And I got like, I listen here, man. And they're like, okay, sure. It was my cousin that time, I'm like, okay, sure. I'm like, big cousin. I'm like, and then listening, I'm like, oh. And then they're selling you this whole dream, of what you must do, what. And then the part that caught me, he told me that they at company A, at the moment you do your 3 years articles and they sign you off, you can join any of their offices anywhere in the world. And that time I'm just thinking, man, Manchester, I can go watch football, I can live my dream.
And it actually happened.
And imagine this was 2011, my first year. 2011.
Yeah.
So, and then I look at the guy and I'm like, why didn't you start with this information?
Yeah.
And then like, whatever you said, this year thing, that's what I'm going to do.
So since then, you just like, that's my goal.
And then since then, my man, that's what I've been pushing for, And then along the journey, you're getting funny modules. You didn't even know, because it wasn't even accounting anymore. It's now financial accounting. Accounting is cool. And they're teaching you like bookkeeping. To drop your cash books, your trial balances. That's bookkeeping. They must even change the school. It's not accounting. It's bookkeeping.
Yes.
When you move deeper, it becomes financial accounting. Now you must understand what goes in there. What is this? And then on the side, you get auditing. When you do this, how do we verify this? And then there's all this other funny, my man. And this journey, every year it's like, it's getting more difficult. I'm like, am I really gonna get here? But by that time, I'm like, 50 means that you move on, fam. So to me, I told myself, okay, the 50% is must there on the report. The other 50% is in thriving, living my life from Yunnan up to like my city, like that, like in SA, I was in the Northwest.
So like,
living my life, fam.
You still had the same attitude as far as it's school, whatever.
Exactly.
But I'm still gonna do my own thing. But you also one of those rare few people that get to do dumb shit, but still make it.
You see the film. If there's one thing I can tell you that I hate in my life, is taking an L. That plus my mentality, young, you must find what works for you. You know.
Yes.
Every step.
Thank you for saying that.
In my life, I've taken it. I'll be like at school, and I'll be like, Patrick is passing Afrikaanse. That's a dumb fuck. I'll also pass. And until today, I don't know. When I have nothing else to motivate myself, I find someone to menach. I'm like, I saw this guy qualified. Fam, mind you, I don't even need to know you to know anything about you. It's like this guy looks like a dumb guy. You could be Einstein's cousin for like a
damn, bro. What's wrong with you?
I'll just menach you just to motivate. Fam,
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Fam, it comes to a point of where if there's nothing coming out internally or somewhere, just find a way to lie to yourself or like do something. With me, it's menach. I love menaching. I don't know what's wrong with me. Yeah. Maybe that's why I'm just a plain class douchebag asshole. Me, I'll menach.
No,
I'll be like,
you found what works for you, my friend. You found that formula, man.
It works for me. Clearly, I'm not saying go be an enemy of progress and go say, you are menach. Person who humble you, you get humbled.
In any waste time, my friend.
But I'm just saying, my man.
Yeah.
I was going on in your mind. Only you know, my guy.
Yeah.
Find whatever you need to spark that thing to get you over the line.
Damn, man. So how long were you here for? Like at UNAM?
Huh?
How long were you at UNAM?
Like at UNAM, I was there for 4 years.
And you finished 4 years?
Yeah. So like I did my 4 years there. I got my undergrad, and then for a postgrad, you can only do it in SA.
And this was for CA.
Yeah.
So you are a chartered accountant.
Yeah,
right?
I am.
Who would have thought? Hey.
Taking a look at my journey.
Exactly. Who would have thought? And everyone may be like, this guy breaking down black people. I'm like, no. I know this guy. I see. That's why I'm shocked, but pleased at the same time.
Nah, man, that's just, like I got to sign up as a CA like end of 2018. Yeah, that's when I finished my articles.
And so this took you like what,
7 years?
7 years?
No, 7 years. Yeah, wait. Let me get it right. Yeah. So it was my 4 years of undergrad, my 1 year of postgrad. And my 3 years of articles. And in those articles, you clearly first write in your first year. You write your professional exam. I mean, the technical exam. And then in your second year, after you've gained about 18 months of experience, you get to write your professional exam. And then only once you're now done with your training contract, because you still need to get the practical work of what the CA does and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's now at the end of the third year. That's when the company that you're doing it at, they say, nope, you look like you're legit, you've met all the competencies that you need. We're happy to put the CA stamp on you. And
so
you
like,
register.
You guys take an oath, eh?
Huh?
You guys take an oath, eh?
No, we don't take an oath, but our profession bounds us by a certain professional code of conduct.
Yeah.
So which includes integrity, So we aren't like doctors, but because if you do not abide by that professional code of conduct, the institution where you are registered, because it's ICANN.
Yeah.
So they can say nope. Now you are putting our profession into disrepute.
I see.
So you are no longer allowed to use the CA thingy behind your name. So you can go through the whole process, fuck up, and then they'll be like, nope, you are no longer a CA. Yes, You still have all the goodies, all the knowledge in your brain and stuff.
But you can't practice.
You cannot go on the street or on the CV saying that, nope, I'm a CA now.
And if they find out you're using that legal actions,
they will. Hey, those are some of the most brilliant minds I know.
Really?
Like, you don't want to mess with them, no.
But
No.
see, chartered accountants. I don't know how the situation looks like today, but I know these were the most sought out people back in the day. Like, I think we only had maybe like 8 or 5 that you would hear of, like prominent ones at least. And then, everyone else that was studying never really made it. They was at the end of switching. But now it seems like there are quite a lot now. Eh?
Yeah, no, because I can tell you, because the next thing, I know I went to go pick up my certificate last month, and by the time I registered, that was around July 2019.
Mm-hmm.
And I was the I was the 1160th member. So by the time I signed up, and that was like in July 2019. So we're just under 1,200 members.
That's a small number
in the country.
That's a small. I mean, if you look at our country with such a small population, so that's a really small number.
Yeah, and if you are taking at the rate of like we are qualifying plus minus 40 to 50 a year, so at this stage we should still be at like 1,008, 9 at most.
Whoa!
Estimating.
Huh. Pay good?
Huh?
Pays good?
Let me tell you something, because you don't know nothing.
Why do I have a feeling it's gonna go so bad?
No. You see the nice thing about that, if there's one thing I know that opens you up at the moment you get the CA brand,
mm-hmm.
it means that at that cap of the amount, the most you can earn.
Mm-hmm.
That scale is like pushed to the very end of it.
Wow.
As a CA, you can be one of the highest paid professionals around.
Mm-hmm.
But then I also need to see that where the money is in industry. So like if you go and you go to like Nampa, you go to an L1L, or you go to like a corporate company, there the moment you qualify, man, you can take home some good money. But if you are staying in practice, like now, as in the auditing firm, that's where the progress as pay. It's not so good, but I think it's fair enough for the amount of knowledge and exposure that you're getting.
Yeah.
Because as an audit manager, you get your portfolio and you work on certain clients. And that's like experience that you're getting, you get to engage with the CFOs, board committees.
Yes.
It was Tuesday, I think. Yeah, there was just like an audit committee meeting, like for one of the banks that I audit. And then I got
okay, don't mention.
Yeah, no, that's not gonna happen.
No.
Yeah, no, but I just got to sit on that board, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just to see the way these people are like, delivering topics and just their level of thinking, I never thought I was like a clever guy,
mm-hmm.
but I've never been in a room and felt so small. I was amazed, my man.
Okay.
I was like, these guys are brilliant. So you see, so now you get like 3 or 4 of those clients on your portfolio, you get to work with them for 2-3 years.
Yeah.
So once I leave, I have a greater chance of getting a better paying job,
Yeah. Good.
Because I can tell you now, the people I qualified with that went into industry. Man, these niggas are pushing the latest C classes. These guys bought in Clean Cooper, they're like apps, being sold. These guys are really paid architects to design the houses. I'm like the money, because I'm just like, hey, guy. So that's what I'm saying. When people ask me the trainees now in their 3rd years, we're about to sign them off.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, So what do you recommend? Do I stay here or do I go there? I'm like, what do you want? Do you want money now, or do you still want to grow and learn and get much more money later? Or you could stay on there and then you become a partner and then you get the lot of money in there as well.
Exactly.
So that's what I'm saying.
It's really up to you.
That's something. It's up to you. It's an individual thing. I'm like, because you must understand the one thing that you also do get to learn when you're seeing your clients. Is how that finance people are around us. I'm like, how can you be in an environment there where you come in and you're new? Your boss is giving you crappy work because he's afraid that you want his job. The person under you doesn't really want to give you quality work because they want your job. So you're just fighting everybody.
Yeah.
There isn't room for you to grow. You're always on the defense.
I see. Okay.
And to me, that working environment, no, man.
It doesn't work.
That's what I'm saying. In an audit environment, you can see like, my man, you're a manager, I'm a manager, everything. So if I come to you for help,
Yeah.
mostly because you understand what I'm going through, you help me. But also you must understand, we get the same bonus pot. So if you don't help me and I mess up, I'm not getting a bonus, you aren't getting a bonus.
You're fucked too, bro.
It's a team sport. So
Exactly. Okay.
It's a team sport. Although, yes, it's my client, that's your client. When I'm selling something, these people are really there to help you. If not for themselves, then for you, really. But for most of them, like, we want to see you thrive, and that's what I love. I cannot go in an environment where I feel like my colleague is is enemy.
But
No, man.
I think that's I feel like that's the environment a lot of people are faced with today. Like
And that's why I'm saying that most people coming out of audit, they are never really ready to go into industry. Because it's almost like we are in this bubble.
Yeah.
When it comes to anything, I'm like, we are all there for each other. We really care about each other. I'm like, fam, even me, I'm like, if I go in there tomorrow and say, no, bro, we don't need you anymore. I'm like, I'm tired. I'm going in there. I'm going with a complete mentality switch. I'm like, now it's a dog eat dog world. Even and I know, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna come in as an FM, but group FM or like CFO, you must know, I'm setting my life right. I'm gunning for you. Because then, because if you don't have that attitude, you must also think this way, then you aren't driven.
That's
Then
true.
you are not driven. You aren't ambitious.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I don't want to be a clerk for forever. We all want to thrive.
Exactly.
And that's why I'm not saying it's like, oh, the corporate world is a bad world. No, it's a dog eat dog world. That's the way it is.
When you I feel like let's say the organizational culture, when it's actually aimed at developing people, like you're saying, that's where people actually thrive. And so I don't understand why. Okay, I do understand no one really likes competition, but if I know if you're doing your job correctly, I know at the end of the year we're getting like a major bonus probably because of your work, because of my work. So
Exactly.
So at the end of the day, I don't know where this greed comes from, but for me, I feel like if your corporate culture, just your organizational, how you guys treat each other, how you guys work together, if that is set from the get-go, like how things are going to work, I think you guys will be fine. No one's going to really fight over your job. No one's going to care about this because everyone just focus on the end goal, which is by the end of the year, we're going to get our bonus. We're going to build this company up.
I see that, fam.
What's wrong with that?
I see that. And that's where I'm not saying like it's the way that the game is set up. In a corporate environment, I have something to gain from sabotaging you. Like if you are above me, because then you look like a dick, and then I can step in. Like in a training office environment, like the audit environment, you have nothing to gain because if we are on the same level, like you get your portfolio of clients that you're servicing, I get my portfolio of clients I'm servicing. So in fact, you'll be at a disadvantage if you try to sabotage me somehow, which I don't even know where you start.
How is that even possible?
Maybe it's possible, but even if you do that, and then my ass gets dumped, it means that the rest of you managers must now take up my clients while you are trying to find my replacement.
Extra,
So not thriving can only make your job worse. But me thriving, it means that at the end of the day, my man, we might get a very decent bonus.
You guys literally hold yourself accountable.
Exactly.
Like everyone's accountable. That's crazy.
But I'm just saying, it's just the way the game is set. I'm like, by nature, people will always want to look out for themselves and be greedy.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, man, like, and we are petty beings.
Tell me
I don't
something
like
I
the
don't
way
know.
Patrick looked at me. I'm gonna put a stupid mistake like in this journal that he's supposed to review, because if he misses it, he looks like the S, because he's the boss.
Nah. Yeah, that's petty.
Yo,
Why you gotta do that?
pettiness. Fam, you can never get enough of that
Scary.
from people.
Some people scare the shit out of me. And how long? Okay, so how long have you officially been an auditor now?
Yeah, so that's 2019, 20. So it's just like my fourth year now, and like actually qualified. Yeah. Fourth.
Oh man.
Yeah, well,
you got a long way to go, eh?
And that's what I'm saying, my man. I'm in no rush to go. Like I saw you making fun of my whipper when I came here. Like, yeah. I'm like, fam, you can damn well see it's Apollo here, and you're here trying to give me tough time. And it's not a GTA. I'm like, it's alright, fam. I see you.
I wasn't shitting on you. I just actually I was.
Yeah, fuck you.
But it came from a place of love, bro. It came from a place of heart, love. I was like, I love you, but I gotta shit on you still, man.
It's not a film like if you don't, then what if you don't know if that's what I'm like happy with? I'm like, nah, my man.
Yeah.
I like, if I know you're capable of doing better, I'll shit on you, but not in a way to break it down. Man, you just say, okay, no, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you now. Huh?
But that's a tricky one though, because you get a lot of sensitive dudes, man.
Man. They must grow a pain, man. Guys. Even with COVID and all the time, we're still gonna be sensitive.
Yeah.
Nah, man, guys, nah.
You're gonna beef with me for something I said? Really?
No, but that's a serious problem, though. You know, the way things shifted. Even now, you know, like at work, you know, it's to the point of where, you know, these new kids coming in. You need to almost tiptoe around them, because everything is based around mental health. You know, you gotta watch what you are saying.
Okay.
And that's the one aspect of my work where I'm like really struggling, because I'm just like, let me just come in, you do something. I'm like, hey, just don't push. I can't say that, because that is like HR, and they're gonna take 2 years of mental health problems, and they're gonna need a therapist for the next decade.
Here's the thing, right? Look, mental health, yes, it's a real thing, but when you get people that use that shit as an excuse for everything, that's where it also gets. That's where the lines get blurry. Because even like when the whole Me Too movement was happening here, people were falsely accusing other people, and I'm like, what's that for? There's certain accusations you just can't come back from, even if you're innocent.
Fam, you know what? That's the one part where I can agree with you, fam. That Me Too movement, fam. In my heart, man, I know, yo, homie, I've never done anything to anybody's daughter, but I'm just having sleepless nights, because I'm like, what if one of those chicks I mistreated one day, and then I just don't lost me it. What if they just come and they bring your name up, fam? I'm just there wondering, like, yo.
You know what happened to me recently?
Being a douchebag was not paying off in that instance.
Not at all.
I was stressed.
Look what happened to me the other day, and it's not like nothing came out or anything, but I was just thrown back by this statement. So I was at Jokers, so like normally you'll find me just alone in places, just having a drink, and I go home. So now I'm there. I met this girl, started having a conversation. So we end up linking up like later on in the week again.
Linking up, mama.
Yeah.
Better easy. Relax. Come on, being all diplomatic, linking up. And nigga, you're clapping them cheeks. Screw you.
I can't be saying I'm a rat on these streets, bro. I gotta be humble.
I'm on my foot, my friend. Like, I'm sure you have like a daddy somewhere. You're like, hey, she was number 61.
That shit is creepy, yo. Guys, I don't even know how guys do that. Okay, but anyways, that's beside the point. And when me and this girl and I were having this conversation, and she's like, you know the bartender said you were gay. I'm like, what? Yeah, he said you were gay. I'm like, and I remember there was this like tall kind of big guy, and I'm like, he said I was gay. Like, yeah. Do you know him? I'm like, no. And I'm like, why would you assume that? He's like, no, because you just came alone, and apparently you're watching the game alone. I'm like, that makes me gay?
I was like, what?
So that's why I started to understand how detrimental these things can be to someone. Because imagine this guy puts it out on social media. Let's say me and you just chilling at the bar maybe, and the guy takes a picture of us like, oh, look at the couple. You know what I mean? You can't come back from those things, bro. Like, it's hard, and that's just one of them. One of the few like variables.
You see, my G, and that's one thing. Where I keep saying this, you know, people we like to complain about stuff like that. But for instance, personally, like I tolerate any gossip talks or shit like that. So if you come to me, yo, Brad, you know, I'm like, fam, are we speaking facts or gossiping? No, Brad, I'm like, no, I'm not interested. Go away, because the one that learns the learning here, it's like you're enabling.
Oh,
you're
okay.
enabling.
Okay,
yes,
yeah, that's true.
Because I know, because at first I'll be like, okay, you know what? And like, if you are here and you're telling me shit about Snow, you know, and his ferret's stomach and his sneakers, Snow, I love you, boy. Doesn't matter.
We're gonna shit on again, like.
You know, because to me the mentality most people have, they be like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna then talk, walk away, and then I throw it out. But then he feels like, oh, people are actually listening. You know, but the moment I shut you down, it's like, oh, what? Something I said, you know. So I'm just like, yeah, he might go on, but don't be part of the problem.
Yeah. So basically, just allowing this gossip to just even ring around you is literally you enabling the person, eh?
That's
a good
saying,
one. I like that.
Actually, which I agree, you know, I like if you come to me, telling me that somebody was taking shit about me to you, I'll ask you, why did he feel comfortable telling you that shit in the first place?
And not to me, my face.
I love that saying because I totally agree. Shut the shit down and move. Because why that person, like if they know that we are boys, why would you feel comfortable going to go tell my boy shit about me? What if it makes you?
That's true, eh?
Then we really aren't boys. Then I'm missing something here. And you know, like how they come all happy to come deliver the terrible news. I'm like, nigga, why are you walking like you're fucking Papa Smurf?
I got some shit to tell you. You're like, oh, here we go.
That's why I'm saying, fam, I watch the movements and the shit that the people do. People are like, oh, thank you, bro. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna thank you. I wanna know why people feel shit telling shit about me to you. Why was he so comfortable telling this shit? Because I know he wouldn't come say it to my face.
Drama sells, man.
Fam, like if we are gonna take this to the media reason, I'm like, the hell yeah, fam.
Drama sells, bro.
I think they must be saying there's no such thing as bad publicity or something like that, or whatever they say. I don't know. They must say something.
Yeah, there's no such thing as bad publicity. No, bro. Dude, I remember. I don't know if I spoke about this, but there was a clip. Are you familiar with Preach and Abba?
Yeah.
Abba and Preach.
Yes, I do. Yeah.
So these guys, they covered this video, man, where this lady falsely accused her ex-husband of touching her kids. Now, that thing that was so dramatic, even for me. I felt so bad because he didn't. So like, imagine, I think 15 or 18 years later, the truth came out. And this topic, man, the way he looks, man, you can see he's defeated, man. He is defeated.
There's no point of return after that. Your whole rep is gone.
Your rep is gone. So imagine how his family and also that family was treating him. But here's a funny thing: the kids knew also. They're like, no, the topic didn't touch me. But the woman put that narrative out there. And the nerve of this woman, she was like, so she confessed. She was like, yeah, I lied. And then
just expects to get away with it.
Here's the fucked up thing. This is how sinister some women can be. She was like, yeah, but you didn't fight hard enough for them. And this man was just left speechless. He was like, oh my god, like I think there's a point he said, on any other time I probably would come and strangle you. But I can't put that energy out there. But just look at that situation, bro.
When we are on this topic, and now this is now where part of my controversial self comes from.
Yeah.
I say,
yeah.
I don't condone violence, or especially like domestic violence. Are you beating your wife?
Yeah.
Let's not get it, because we know there are some rondas out there that also touch us.
Bruh.
But the majority we can agree is usually male beating his wife, or his girlfriend, whatever. That's it. I don't condone that, but every time I hear somebody throwing their mouth, yeah, he beat me. I asked me, but what did you do? I mean, what did you do to him? What did you say? Does it matter? I'm like, yes, it matters. I'm like, what do you mean? So you have? I'm like, listen here. Let me start. I don't condone what I did. Yes, the guy must still get the deserved punishment. But what did you do or say?
But that's the thing.
No, that's what I'm like. Nobody wakes up mad and just starts beating you. Women are the best at pressing buttons. Facts. They know what to do or to say.
But you see, when we question these things, when we want to know exactly what happened, we become the enemy. We become sexist. We become all these things. I'm saying. But
controversial me fine, but I wanna know what you said.
Exactly.
I wanna know what you said.
I do believe you did something. Not all the time. That's not always the case.
No. That is like it's alcohol or drug abuse or the guy just had a fucked up day.
Yeah. But it's like,
and just to get it straight, although what she said might have been helpful, it doesn't excuse him for putting his hands on you.
Exactly.
But at least if I was a judge, at least I can understand that I don't need to lock him up in a mental institution. At least I can understand why he did it. But it's not gonna be forgiven. It's not gonna be condoned. The punishment is not gonna be any less.
Yeah.
Okay, but maybe he can. Instead of 5 years, we can take 5 months off because you ask for it. I mean, you can't be there poking a beehive and then you get stung and then all of a sudden the bees are the bad people.
See,
but in that I'm just saying, women are heartless sometimes.
You automatically become the enemy when you ask certain questions like that. But and it's funny because we have to explain ourselves so much. It's ridiculous that we're at a point where you can't even say certain things, or you say something but you have to elaborate again. Look, if some dude hits you and I ask you, what happened, or what did you do?
Yeah, exactly.
Did you say something? Did you probably threw a pen at this man and he just lost his shit? But then I forgot the point I was trying to make.
No, man,
it's just when we try to figure out, try to get onto.
It's like you are trying to find an excuse for him, like to justify his behavior.
And I'm saying, and that's the thing. We're not looking for it, but we're trying to figure out. Okay, if you said this to this man, maybe you shouldn't say that next time you're in another relationship.
Thank you.
That's advice we're trying to give you.
Because now, if we are always gonna just lock up the guy for touching you, and this is the third guy now, clearly there's a common denominator here. I'm like, what do you say to these people? What do you do to them? We don't want to justify their actions. We just want to understand what to do, and maybe next time do better.
Yeah, maybe you should stop. Maybe cursing his mom and his grandmother, his dead grandmother. Maybe that doesn't work out too well.
But in today's world, as you say, my man, you ask that question. Oh, how could you? I'm like, how could I? What?
You bastard.
I'm like, so were you dating a Marala people or like a mentally challenged person? Or like, then you have a terrible taste, man. Next time, date somebody that's mentally stable, because that's what you're trying to say.
Yeah, but people have become broken after such situations. I saw, I saw an unprovoked video. I'll try to look for it and I'll show you.
Uh,
Yo, dude, nah. I get it now. You know when women say like it's hard for me to leave, I saw this video and I get it. I honestly get it all my heart. This dude, I don't know if he's a former NFL player or still. Dude, this guy, what he did to that his girlfriend. You've played rugby before, right?
yeah, bro.
How are those tackles?
Hey, guy. And you don't even want to go up against the forward, my man. That guy catches you blindsided, my man.
So I'm trying to give you context. So imagine you are a small lady, and this dude picks you up like it's and throws you into a TV and into a table again in front of the baby.
Nah, man.
Dude,
my guy.
And obviously that's not the first time that shit happened. You know what I mean? Things like that don't happen. That's just not the first time.
I'm like that's this like level 8, man.
No, right?
And like you don't tackle your chicken throw against a TV the first time you're pissed.
Dude, the way you threw her, man, it's shocking, man. I'm like, yo, you know you're, and she's not like, it's not like she's even like trying to like fight the guy. You know, she's like, yo, stop, please. And I'm like, oh, bro, man, you are a big guy. You weigh so much more. You are bigger than this lady. But the way you threw her in there, oh, but even you'll be scared.
Was it a smart TV?
Yeah.
Why didn't you get out of the way?
You clown. My next question was, why is that important? Why is this smart TV?
I saw that. Look
That
at
was
the face.
I'm
I'm like, what situation? I just told you somebody's daughter got thrown against her.
You asked me the TV smart, like, bro, what? Why didn't you run away?
Oh man! Oh shit!
Nah, man. Hey, that's the life. That's what happened, and man, I don't know, man. For a guy like that to even do that, it's beyond me, man. It's beyond me. But what do you think about the whole what's it? V-class girls, man? I mean, that we're getting a little bit off topic, but I feel like we can close it off with this one because I thought about this a lot.
No. Let me hear your input on this one.
I have no sympathy for these ladies, especially after the story I heard. Because the guy who was in the video, now he explained the story.
Yeah.
He was with his wife and his boys.
Yeah.
They rented a party. I guess it's a party bus. They saw these girls who look stranded.
You go.
Decided to help, and then they got uppity. They got that sense of entitlement all of a sudden.
Exactly.
And then homeboy was like, man, get the fuck out of my car. And I think before we even started this thing, didn't we say, we're talking about entitlement or what exactly we were highlighting on?
Wait,
No, we didn't touch on that really.
What is entitlement?
Oh no, we've dealt with these kinds of women before.
Oh yeah, okay. Yes.
I think 80% of the men who are gonna listen to this or any guy, I think you've dealt with these kinds of women. The ones that are not self-righteous, but who have this sense of entitlement, man.
They have that sense of feeling high in my. It's sort of it's entitlement, man.
It is
Because I'm just like,
because everyone's like, no, you're not supposed to put your hands on her. I'm like, look, man, he didn't do anything that was that bad.
no, I'll listen here. Before the station. Okay, listen here. How many times did he ask her to get out of the car before taking things into his own hands?
Yeah.
It's my car, guy. Get out, please.
Vice versa. How would that situation have turned out?
Yeah. Oh, look at him now. No. No.
The guys, the guy asked the guy, get out. It's fine, just get out. You don't want that kind of company around you. Okay, we don't need it. Just go. And they didn't.
You see that why? I just because you wanna be living at the highlight. At there was a comment I read there that actually made sense. No. To break it down, they're just like women. Women must reach a point of where they have that self-respect of where they will not allow money to dictate of how a man treats you.
Was that a woman who said that?
Huh?
Was that a girl who commented?
I really don't know, but that's the sort of that's how I took it.
Yes.
It was a whole long, and I couldn't agree more.
Yes, because at the end of the day, how are you gonna tell me I ain't shit when you don't have shit?
Thank you.
It doesn't make sense. I read this meme, right? Apparently in Namibia, you need to be an employed man to date an unemployed woman. And that shit made me laugh. It made me laugh.
Of course. Fam, we can go through the wait. I got to listen. I like it's you and Sarah. You both work at KFC. Huh? She's a stroke independent woman. You ain't shit. You're a broke ass nigga. Huh?
Why is
Same job.
Oh my god.
Same job.
Why can't I be hustling like her? You know?
Bruh. And then it comes to the saying that is so true and they will reject it as much as they want. Fam, only two types of people are loved in this world unconditionally.
Yeah.
It's women and children. As a man, you are loved based on what you can provide. Now we can argue until the moon turns green or purple or whatever.
Yeah.
As a man, because there's no way. I don't care if you are the sweetest guy in the world. You love your women. You must. If you cannot take her on a little vacation or have some. I'm not saying you need billions or millions, but as a man, you need to have some sort of financial something going on for you to keep your woman happy.
Yeah.
Full stop.
Shout out to Chris Rock. That was the tambourine, the send-up, I think. Yeah.
That's what. Thank you. I was like, man, that shit will stick with me forever.
Yeah.
Man, if anybody is listening to this and they can dispute that, man, I'm all ears. I'm willing to listen. Tell me, man, no.
I had my friend on you, Castro. I don't know if you know.
Oh, Angola.
Yeah.
No. The girls at Yalmore, I think. I remember Castro. Yeah.
He literally disagreed with me because we're talking about unconditional love or something. He's like, there's no such thing as unconditional love. I'm like, why would you say that? Because it's like the moment you have these weird requirements, that shit is out of the window. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense. So it's unconditional love to a certain point.
Okay, I can agree with that to an extent where it's where it's what can I say, like a sexual relationship.
Okay.
Like boyfriend, girlfriend, husband. But to a point where it's like a relationship like between you and your kid or you and your brother or you and your mom or something. That's unconditional. I'm like, look at me. Like if it was unconditional love, that woman would have baby dumped my ass a long time ago. I brought her nothing but stress. But something, because she's a mother, something down in there, it just prevented her from keeping me there feeding. That wasn't. She didn't feel entitled. She didn't wake up one day and she was doing it with spite.
Yeah.
From the day I can remember until today, the same way she'll bring me a plate of food is the same way it is said, whether I've pissed her off, I've done something right. So to me, yes, I do believe it's unconditional love, and that's a mother's love.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, no, like if it comes to my bros, I'm like, sometimes my friend, you're pissing me off one day. Like if they come, if they ask me what you up for a 50 mil, maybe I'll tell them.
I got it.
Everything else, but then.
Okay, but yeah, to be fair, he was referring to a relationship as far as
but.
Because if you think about it, if you look at the word, let's just break it down. Unconditional love, meaning, so what
you can literally do anything you want and get away with it. Meaning that you can cheat and all that. Oh, okay, whoa.
You see?
Sorry.
So now we have to put a cap on it.
Man, I'm not so bright. When you said break it down, unconditional, I'm like, word processing, I'm like, whoa.
Because what you described is a mother's love, and that's something completely different.
Okay, then I actually have one question on that. Listen here. just because I love you unconditionally as my partner, right? That does not mean that and you cheat on me, right? That's a condition to break the relationship, not a condition to break my love. So I can still leave you but love you. So that's my argument.
Nicely put. Nicely put.
So just because I left you because you did something, that does not mean I love you any less.
Yeah.
I still love you as much as it, but I will not tolerate what you're doing.
Okay.
See that?
It's a crazy one.
It's just
man.
the same way that your mom can love you, but then you've reached a point of where you're about to become a criminal, so she will allow you to go sit in prison for that month, so you learn a lesson. Yeah. So I actually did disagree with him that there is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. There is unconditional.
Yeah. Because I just thought about it.
Why do you think it's so like okay, now as a mother, I'm not a mother.
Because the mother was like, oh, mama, fuck, what do you know about being a Sally?
What do I know? But like when you look at certain mothers and what they're willing to do for their kid, you know, just that unconditional love that we're talking about. Why do you think that is, man? Because I know some parents, some mothers and their kids. These kids are fucked up. They are not good people. Yet the mother still defends them till the dying breath. Why do you think that is, man? What is that, man?
You aren't gonna love my uncensored answer here. I basically okay, I'm gonna try and be diplomatic about this.
Choose your words wisely.
Yeah. To me, I genuinely think that that process, that labor process, you know, when they say that that's a pain that I could have, that pain could make could kill a man or something. Yeah. So I think once you've gone through that pain, you lose it, and you see this is the reason why you went through that pain. I think there's some trigger them mentally, and you have the question of like, you know what? No matter what this person does, this is my person. This person came out of me. I'm like, this is what they made me feel. I'm like, so to them, I'm like, because the mother feels more connected to saying, so if I accept that my kid is a criminal, or my kid is then that speaks something about me. So they make that emotional connection that no, if my child can be this, it means I'm also partly that. And then they go into denial themselves in order to protect. So in effect, they're defending their kid, but they're also actually defending themselves. Because if your kid is like an ancient kid, well, that kid didn't make it themselves.
Yeah, no, right?
So they also feel somehow that they are also being blamed in that. So it's like they cope the story over because they've actually felt that. That's the angle I'm leaning towards. Because me, you're the guy. You're like, oh, bruh, I just pulled out too later. From there on, everything like is a Zali that goes through the motion sickness and all these funny things, all these funny pregnancy things.
Yeah, no.
It's her that's feeling it.
That you flipped the script on this one, yeah. Because wow, talk about enabling someone, yo. Fuck. Because my theory was the fact that this is literally the only human being. It's kind of equivalent to what you're saying. This is the only human being that can give birth to another human being. So just imagine you are able to give birth to another human being. The love or whatever. I do believe some chemicals are involved, you know. This.
Yeah, I know, man.
And it's like, man, just imagine that feeling. Because I don't think a man won't. We do love our kids, but the way a woman does, nah, I don't think it can compare.
And that's what I'm saying. You know, I like it takes like a very strong and mature woman to like be able to accept that okay, kid, I know you fucked up, to like make that dealing, because let's be honest, the way where it is. That's what I'm saying. Young man, just stop knocking up every other thought. Ooh, guy, young must really stop that shit. Fam. No, just think of it this way. Can you ever recall are you being called in the principal's office? Ne? And then they called the Zali, huh?
Uh-huh.
And then the Zali, I wanted to shock the principal. The Zali will say, beat him, and then I beat him also now. You see there? That's what an educated person should be thinking.
Yeah.
A strong, like an emotionally strong woman.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna fuck you up today.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Because it's only now I understand, you know, listen, the Zalis, they can get a bit of credit for their trick that's reached a multi-platinum now.
Mm-hmm.
This is gonna hurt me more than it's gonna hurt you. To some extent, I can start to understand that.
Hate that
Why
phrase.
would you wanna? Why would you wanna hurt something that you love so much and you sacrifice so much for? These people could have retired and went to like the Bahamas a few years ago, but because they had to take care of your black ass, they had to put so many things on hold.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine what my parents could have been doing.
Exactly.
Could have retired early, chill.
Fam, that side, do you know what them white folks do? Fam, once you are done with high school, bye-bye. Move out of my house.
You know, there's an upside to that. Yeah, there's an upside to that. The fact that you're giving, it's not necessarily throwing the kid away, but you're trying to give him that sense of independence. Like, go,
fam, but
feel it, see how it feels.
yeah, no, I get that. But fam, think about it. Like if your black ass was tossed out at 18, would you really have made? And don't get me wrong, I understand, you know, the economies are different, you know. It's much easier, you know, to just get out, you know, you go get your factory job and there's minimum wage and you'll be able to make it, you know. But you might understand, it's just that fact. I'm like, listen here. That is not always done out of a place of love. Some of those people, it's just a topic that wants to be able to chop the Zali on the kitchen counter again. Now I must be homeless
without having been disturbed.
Yeah, like I'm not even a bad kid, man. Why the fuck am I being evicted?
It reminded me of that scene in next Friday. He's taking Craig to the uncle's house. It's like, yeah, me and your mother trying to walk in this house butt naked. Matter of fact, I'm going to do that when you get back off from work. It's like, what?
Sometimes I'm just like, man, guys.
Yeah, but hey, man, shout out to the unconditional love that these parents show us. But
hey, man, it's really not easy out there. But wait. There was something that was keeping me up. Wait, sometime last week, and I was thinking, man. Yeah, now that you're here, now, let me pick your brain also once, man.
What's up, man?
I just listen here. There's one thing that I like. Don't really like. Totally like, you know, like it's being a hypocrite, but then there's this internal fight in me, which I don't know. Am I just being a douchebag, an asshole, or am I partly a hypocrite? Okay, let me emphasize, with me, I like if a friend would come to me for advice, let's say like you're having like a shitty time at work, man. Like your boss is calling you a monkey and all this funny, like it's just like terrorizing you, man.
Yeah.
Shit that is like disrespectful to you in every way, yeah. And then you come to me, you're like, yo, Esa, man, listen here, man. This is what's happening at work. What? Ne? So to me, my initial reaction would be, man, nigga, fuck that nigga up, you know. So something like that, but that's not what I would say. What I would say, I would give a logical response, like, no, try to work it out, you know, think in the long term, something, you know, like, you know, think about it, you do the job, what, but as I'm giving this advice, it's advice that I know damn well I would not take, but I'm telling you what is good. So, am I trying to be a good, am I being a hypocrite? I'm like, what the fuck? I don't know.
I know exactly what you're talking about, and I feel the same way. How do I give good advice, but I'm not good at taking my own advice?
Exactly, I'm giving you advice I know damn well I wouldn't take. Do. Yeah, I will never take that advice. But because you're my boy, it's like I feel like I'll sabotage you if I tell you what I'm really gonna do.
You are being a good friend, because at the end of the day, it's circumstances. You can understand. Okay, this person is not like this. So I have to tell you to act accordingly based on what I know will work for you. I know probably for me it wouldn't work out.
I'm like,
if you call me a monkey, man,
I'm
I'm flipping tables, I'm throwing everything maybe.
You understand?
So yeah, someone told me now you're not being a hypocrite necessarily. It's just, but how I decided to break it down is what I told you now. That's how I started to process it. I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, not a hypocrite, but I just know your circumstance. I know the kind of person you are.
See that, but I see that, and this is now where I struggle because I'm a logical and concise person. Okay, I like if we break down what's a hypocrite? Is a hypocrite? No, not saying I'm not saying I don't do this, but you do it. You know. So that's basically saying do as I say, not as I do. Is that not in a sense a natural of what a hypocrite is? So in the essence, and now we are trying to take out this circumstance to bracket it so we feel safe and we're not in there.
What I always say, man, depends who you ask, my friend.
I can live with that one.
I can live with that one. I'm still gonna be giving good advice. I just won't be taking my own. I probably won't.
Yeah, nah. Because I really don't know
it's
what I didn't do that day, but I was just like, fuck, but am I really a hypocrite? Or am I just trying to be nice? But then again, you know, because it's human. The reason I couldn't argue myself is because I know it's in human nature when you'll find an exceptional circumstance that just applies to you. So you don't feel like, nah, my nigga, we're all just criminals. No, but I just stole a hamburger. I was hungry. Those guys stole an entire ocean. No, my friend, we're all criminals. But yes.
That's a good question.
That's with small things, but human nature, you'll always try to make your circumstance special to you.
Yeah.
So you aren't in the.
But that's a good question. Okay, yeah. Whoever decides to listen to this thing to this point,
that's a good one.
These motherfuckers are long. I understand it, but it's gonna catch on. Believe me. But here's the question: are you a hypocrite if you don't take your own advice, but giving it rather? Like you can give advice, but taking your own, does that make you a hypocrite? Did I articulate that one correctly? Okay.
100.
I don't know. It's a good question. I was also, I think 3 weeks ago, I had a debate about that. I'm like, oh, fuck you guys. I'm not a hypocrite. I just know.
Do you know? I'm just like, nah, fam. So being a hypocrite is like, nah, telling me like I don't even. I'm like, I ain't shit, fam. I'm like, so I'm just like, nah, man.
It's like, how do I put this? It's like I used to. Here's another theory I have. I feel like every straight dude is homophobic to some degree.
Fam, you know what?
Yeah.
Let me not even lie to you. Here again we come in where I say I think I'm privileged to have like had like for elder brothers who went through cycle, fam.
Yes.
In school, man, I'm sure, fam. It was at a point, I like where like if like this like more feel okay this because I don't know because to me firstly there's a difference between somebody being gay and being morphy. Listen here, gay is like that's a sexuality, you can still be wearing and talking like hey, but you just I'm like that one 100% doesn't even bother me. I don't think it ever has. It's fine. Is this movies? I'm like, bruh, why you being extra, man? Not even girls act like that.
Yeah, why you being like that?
And those ones, whenever I was in an environment with those types of people, man, I would lose my cool. I would wanna push it. And then my brother took me aside and he like, fam, why do you let them spoil your day? Why? And in a matter of like one conversation, it was like planning like changing my message like listen here. As long as they aren't bothering you, as long as this is it's okay. You can engage with them, have laugh with them, as long as they know they respect that brothers and you aren't playing on that team. And that took a while. And don't get me wrong, I like if I came in here and there's like 4 or 5 gay guys and then another one, don't get me wrong, I'll still be freaked out. And not to say that and now I think that I'm special that they want me, but I'm just like it's just not my comfort zone.
Is it?
So I think in that element, so there is some sort of and if you were like to like come and touch me. I'm like, no, brother. I'm like, don't do that.
And you literally just explained what I was actually gonna say, anyways. Because now I'm a straight dude, and you keep trying me. Eventually, I'm gonna get upset, right?
Fam, obviously.
And if I react, I'm homophobic. But now here's the kicker. Now, the word homophobia or homophobic, it's very, because I remember when I said this, people were like, oh, I'm not gonna touch that. But I'm like, no, listen. But if you look at the word homophobia or homophobic, it's one-sided. It's literally you hating someone who's gay or whatever the case may be. But then, but I'm like, look, if someone's harassing me and he knows damn well I'm not gay or anything, and then I react, then technically I'm homophobic at that point, right?
Yeah, but
You know?
it's also funny, you know, like
It's like hypocrisy when we're talking about not being a hypocrite. That's the angle I was trying to make. Like, it's hard to define these things now. So like, man, I'm not homophobic, but you keep trying me. I'm probably gonna act out as a homophobic motherfucker.
and this is a way you have to love physics. Every action has a reaction.
True, that's true.
And I think that needs to be applied to everything. Yes, he whooped your ass, but you caused it.
he didn't. Yeah, but that's the thing. The narrative will
It
always
doesn't
be.
mean he's
he hates. It's a hate crime.
Yeah, it's not a hate crime. Like, I didn't knock his ass out because he's gay. No, I did it because he kept.
He kept touching my balls, dog. He kept touching me.
Touching my balls.
Touch my dick, and then I was like, "What the fuck?"
Imagine. So that's what I'm saying, man. And that's what I'm saying. That's why I will never like come to you. You tell me something, and then I'm gonna lose my bananas and start on more. I'm like, okay, let me hear the other story.
Yeah, the story.
Because
Yeah.
it could be completely different.
Dude, how many times?
And the worst part is what I've seen, in a way I've seen that people ain't shit. We use friendship to manipulate. We use our relationship we have as friends to manipulate each other. Because I know you're my boy. I'll be like, hey, bro, those guys are out there, they just came there and they beat me. I was just on my way here, what. And I come, when I walk there, I was like, hey, you bunch of wankers, pussies, and they whoop my ass. Now I'm gonna come to you, and clearly you believe me because I'm your boy.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the thing, but that's what, it's just because you are my boy.
I have to believe.
I will tell you a version of where I'm the victim to manipulate your opinion.
Yeah, it's true.
Why are we like, am I really your friend? Me, I'll be like, yo, bro, I was coming here. Oh, this other guy, I saw his zaddy, he died at me. So are you gonna help me or not? Just come to them like, bro, you deserve what you got. No, not that that's what I do, but I'm just saying, just imagine how friendships would be like if we didn't use this manipulation. Basically, that's it. It's manipulating.
It's like when you inherit your friend's beefs.
Yep.
That one's a trippy one for me, because like what you just described is it happens a lot, and then only later you can realize, man, I could have lost my life because of this dumb shit, yo.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm a treaty scheme, my friend. Because I'm like, that's what I'm saying. Men, I understand what I'm saying. Men really never mature. Because I can tell you now, we can be so concise and everything, but if we walk out there and we see our race being jumped, do you think we have time to reason? What did he do? No, you are gonna act instinctively.
Yeah,
we were going there, we get our asses whipped, all three of us, and then when those guys go, we're like, Ray, what the fuck happened? Bruh, like I touched the guy's girlfriend's butt. It's like nigga, what the fuck?
What was that for?
Exactly. We are instinctive. It's just the way it is, no matter how logical you can be. But there are just at the moment I'm like, because there isn't any time to process. The opportunity doesn't allow you to do that.
Yeah.
If you come with your ass already beaten, yes, then I can interrogate you. But if I'm unlucky enough to find the action happening, I must make peace to Margot, take some of your beatings. Because imagine I'm there doing nothing and those guys, they kick you to death. Then I'm going to blame myself.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
But
do you feel like that's even like, can you even label that as friendship? If you're gonna put me in danger for some bullshit that you did, can you even put that as as friendship anymore?
And that's what I'm saying. Us people, we have this thing of like, it's ego. It's ego.
Yeah, it's
I'm
ego.
like, nah, I was beaten. Do you think do you think? Not I don't care, but I'm just not reasoning of what the consequences could be at that time. I just want you to come help me. So I can gain some of that bruised ego, doctors because my ego is not bruised.
It's bruised.
You see that?
Yeah.
So it's just like, the human body and person is just complicated, my man.
Damn, man.
And that's exactly what I'm saying. I'm like, listen, you can never just go there and start judging. I'm like, man, there's so many elements and things. This is just like, what were you even thinking? Because even the person that fucks up now, they'll go home, get a good night's rest, and after that, they'll even wake up and like, what the fuck was I doing?
Yeah.
See that?
Oh man, this is just me questioning things, man.
Nah, my guy.
I have a lot on my mind at times.
I like, you see this sometimes. I'm telling you, you're just there on your bed and you can't sleep, and then all these funny thoughts just start popping out of like, why? Why is it happening? Fam, the classic one, fam. Sometimes I really go to bed, and then like during the day, I just lost my cool like with these kids, and I'm hammering them. I'm like, do this, do that. I'm like, why? Is it? And then I go home. And then I'm like, was it really necessary for me to be that hard? And then because I'm asshole, I'm like, they must learn. It's fine. You see that?
Yeah. Because dude, at the end of the day, it all comes down to intentions. If you're yelling at me, oh look, I don't necessarily condone it, but it's like football. When you see the coaches shouting at these guys, it's not that they hate them or they're trying to discourage them. They know what they're capable of. So it's like, dude, push.
Like, fam.
I got push. I don't give a fuck about how you're feeling. Push, bro, because I know you are capable of greatness. So do this. So what you did, I mean, like I said, it comes down to intention. If you just enjoy making people cry, then there's something wrong with you, bro.
I was about to, and that's it. And that's the one thing that like at most. I can always sleep at night. And number one, if I came here and then I called you like a chimpanzee looking motherfucker, and then you threw it and you threw me out. Listen here, I'll understand why you did that. You're maybe your feelings, it's fine, but I will not lose sleep because my intention wasn't to spoil your day or to make you feel bad. It didn't come from a bad place.
There's no malice to it.
Then there's also another element to it. When you're backtracking, okay, this is what I did. I asked myself, in that situation, with the information I had, not knowing what the decision was gonna be, would I have done the same? So if I complain and I'm gonna say yes, I'm like, it's patrizo. We're always roasting each other. There was no way I could have known that the guy's having a bad day.
Exactly.
So I would have most likely, maybe I would have used a better roast, but I would have still roasted him. So I cannot sleep. I cannot lose sleep there.
Yeah.
And because now we go everything up to go reassess things there. With information you got afterwards, and then you wanna feel bad. No, my man, you only got that information after the event happened. But up to that event, the information you had there. Could you have done anything better? No.
Exactly. It's really like you said, we are friends, and then you can say something, and I'm just not in the mood that day. Yeah, I mean, everyone will probably look at you like I guess an asshole, but he didn't know. He didn't know what the situation was, and you're used to this person, so it's like this is friendly banter, but now it's like, oh wow.
I'm like,
boys,
nigga literally threw me out to his dogs, man. Literally. I even had the Casmo there.
He's mad. Yeah, but Esa, dude, this was fun, man.
My guy. Thank you for having me, man.
This was literally just a catch-up session. This has nothing to do with anything else.
I was about to say, did we even give people anything productive to go on?
Because I'm at a point where I don't really give a damn about that. This is what I want to do. As far as I don't talk to people, have fun, laugh, and if you get something out of it, then fine. I'm also happy with that. But this is literally a catch-up session.
I
man.
mean,
We just had to.
I'm sure there are a few seats there that they can pick up here and there. But either more, to me, I just felt like, man, I haven't been allowed to talk this much shit. You know, and that's the problem. Fam, you give me a platform to talk shit, I'll talk it.
You should. I want to get paid for it also. Pay for talking shit.
My guy will be there pushing the regular man. Go for it.
Let's push this agenda. Yo, man, this was fun, man.
I know, my G. It's a pleasure.
Yeah.
When the episodes are in the hundreds, don't be afraid to invite me for a remix. I'll know better.
People will be like, oh, this guy again.
Fuck. Sure. Oh,
again.
actually, you forgot to give your people a disclaimer. Just in case and just in case they are wondering, there's nothing wrong with your sound, people. I do stutter when I talk. Now they're wondering, this guy's mic is broken. Nah, fam.
Is he drunk?
A nigga has fresh mics here. Squeaky clean mics.
Is he drunk already?
I'm like, what now, guy?
Okay, I think I added in the description. Disclaimer: this nigga got stuck.
Please, don't be thinking, but next time you wanna like, this guy gives us a bad mic. Nah, guys. I guarantee you guys know. It's top quality shit happening in here.
Say that one more time.
Top quality shit happening in here.
My man. Yo, but any last words for the listeners? Any other piece of advice? Because clearly we might have ruffled a few feathers, but it is what it is. But any last words to the people?
My people, Patrick's people.
My peoples.
Basically, if there's one thing that I can just leave you guys with, is that, guys, it's just life. It's not that serious. Hey?
Yeah.
In the end, you only get one, guys. I like, if there's that kachiki one, guys, ask her out. Girls, drop better hints. I will not tell you to go tell the guy to go because we know you won't do it. We know you won't do it.
Yeah, not at all.
You know what? I cherish every moment you want, and don't ever let anybody tell you that you can't do it.
That's true, man.
I'm just a small van boy that grew up in the dirty streets of Angwediva.
Yeah.
And I got to live my dreams by going to Manchester and watching my games.
There you go.
So, what was the word that I said again? I am you. Damn it, I used it. I'm hard.
Yeah, use it. Okay, yeah, use it. I am you.
I am you.
I don't even know if that makes sense, but it sounds right.
Man.
It just sounds right.
But honestly, man, it's tough times. Take care of yourself and have hope.
There we go, man. With that being said, man, peace.
Peace out.
Yeah. Hey. Type of lifestyle that we living over here is not the same. People say they never gon' change, but they change. Times are moving faster, ain't no time to switch a lane. Keep me out of rain.